Non-Canon Underground. This is where I draw a movie poster for a movie that doesn't exist and probably will never exist. And then we discuss what we think that movie would be about. And the movie that we voted on in our Discord is Godzilla Pacific Rim, which I think at one point was supposed to happen, and I'm not really sure what happened there. So, I mean, just for the video's sake, I'll explain that like Pacific Rim is just kaiju coming from the Pacific Ocean, and then humanity builds these robots called Jaegers, I think, and they fight off the kaiju, which is perfect for Godzilla, you know, the ultimate kaiju. So right away, like the first problem to tackle in the movie would be that Godzilla has smacked around mechanical things before, like Mechagodzilla. So like obviously he would have to team up with the Jaegers at some point, right? Or like how do you guys think it would go?
Well, Godzilla hates humanity like a lot, and understandably so. So,
You kind of
it's
have to pick
clearly
which
gonna
Godzilla
have
you
to
want.
be like a compromise situation for him.
Which is true. This would have to be Godzilla on a good day.
You get two choices. You get the Godzilla that's a villain to humans, or the Godzilla that teams up with humans, and that's how you technically would write this movie.
Yeah, because American Godzilla loves to forcibly put their kaiju in hero or villain status, whereas in Japan, it's neither of those things. They're just animals. So, like, I feel like with Godzilla, he will. I think the main thing is that he'll team up with you as long as you're not getting in his way. Otherwise, he doesn't really care if you're there.
True.
Maybe there's another monster, and like they fought Godzilla and they lost like really bad, and so their defenses were down, and so that when this other monster comes out of the water and they're trying to defeat it, you know, they're unable to, and they figure out that maybe we should just get Godzilla to fight them and take care of the problem, and so they kind of like lead Godzilla like putting a stick with a carrot on top of a horse's head, and just making it walk towards, just keep walking in the right direction before, and so when they see the monsters and then they fight each other, and
To the king of monsters?
yeah.
Carrot on a stick to the king? Wow, man.
Well, I mean, not a carrot though. We'll put something else like
No, of course.
substantial, like a Snickers bar or something.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I was thinking you're about to say mutated kaiju carrot, but like no, it's something equally as small, a Snickers bar.
No, Snickers
So-
will fill you up.
I think my question about this would be like, why would they ever need Godzilla when the Jaegers are like literally right there?
Because they just fought
Mhm.
Godzilla and they lost really badly, so that their technology, their machines are kind of like on the fritz. They're broken down, and they're not
Oh,
equipped.
shit.
They're not equipped to fight this new monster. So they're like, oh, let's sick them on.
Yes, but I think it's necessary. But I also think he must kill one of the Jaegers and a human in the first half of that movie before they team up. He must kill one of them, though.
I feel like one of the most unique concepts of the Jaegers is that it can only be piloted by two people who have mentally connected with each other. What if some of these pilots mentally connected with Godzilla?
Oh,
Great
Pilot
idea.
is a genius.
And you see one of them trying to mentally connect with Godzilla from the very beginning, but can't do it, and then thinks of a way at the end when they need him the most, and then boom, you know, did they mentally connect to him? So you don't need the Snickers bar at that point.
You-
And it's like I feel like it would like beg the question of like, oh, we've never had a human connect with whatever Godzilla is, or any beast or animal for that matter. We don't know what would happen to you, like, or what would happen to Godzilla.
I think that's a great idea. I think it's a great idea.
It rhymes and mimics the Mothra prophecy by having two people who connect, much like those twins.
In their like mystical talk and just being like, you must like join hands and connect together and be one, and then evil will be vanquished, or something like that.
In that idea of a crossover, if it's Godzilla in their world, just having it echo being these twins, you can even make them twin Japanese girls. No matter where he's at, this will happen to Godzilla. That would be some crazy lore-setting thing where if Godzilla goes to any universe, travels any universe, there will always be a set of twins who can help him.
Oh,
like that.
God, I should have asked. Should I be dropping F-bombs on this recording?
Fuck yeah.
I wonder,
That's
like, would there be a
Perfect.
plot where they take some of the Jaeger technology and, like, I don't know, make like a giant cap or something, and they're like, we need to put this on Godzilla so we can, like, sync him up to, like, some humans or whatever.
Oh, so you know what? That's almost like the new Kong Godzilla, where they gave this dude a glove. So now you got to give Godzilla a fucking crown.
Godzilla's
Oh.
not going to go along with it, but
Absolutely not. He's like putting a hat in a cat.
for the human characters, like, are we bringing back the Pacific Rim cast, or are we going to create like fully original characters for this?
Oh, you know what? You should have Idris Elba say the same speech after every single battle about canceling the apocalypse, and then like the crowd just gets like they're like, yeah, we're canceling the apocalypse. You know, like that. It's not motivating them anymore.
This makes me think is that since there's a Mecha Godzilla, wouldn't you like to see like a Jaeger Godzilla
Yes, they
Oh
must get
my.
that technology.
or some like
So
Transformer
if
shit? Like
human,
like maybe the Jaeger like latches on to Godzilla and like becomes his armor or something.
whatever human or pilot mentally connects with Godzilla, gosh, they're gonna mentally absorb all of Godzilla's suffering into them. Like that's gonna be an experience.
Ooh,
Yes,
yeah.
and I think their attitude should completely change the moment that happens. And then if they ever become characters more, their attitudes are forever changed. They are now more beastly, if anything. Not like overly, but these people who were seemingly the main like good characters are now a little hard edged because they were melded with Godzilla.
What if the pilot decided, I've learned that humanity is not worth saving, and then walks away from the Jaeger, and then that becomes
Ooh,
its own story arc?
man, hell yeah. And then you got a rogue Jaeger out there. Rogue Jaeger.
The Jaeger bomb, we might say.
If this is a manga, that's definitely a chapter name for sure.
If Godzilla is the normal size, the giant Godzilla, and the Jaegers are very, very ill-equipped because they're so tiny, and so they get the scientists that made Jet Jaguar, and they attach it to the Jaegers, and they grow
Wait,
big.
what?
Like the Jet Jaguar. Remember, Jet Jaguar starts out as as a regular sized human being, and then he just grows to the size of Godzilla, with like a Power Ranger. And so with that technology, the Jaegers could use Jet Jaguar's technology to grow to the size of the Super Godzilla, the 14,
Yes.
the
We
American
make
Godzilla.
a Jet Jaguar.
Yeah, Jet Jaguar. And when they grow up, they have the big smile on the mask, just like Jet Jaguar. That's a side effect of the technology. I think
So
that's
just Jet Jaguar then, who you want in the movie.
just put Jet Jaguar in it. You found me out. I just want Jet Jaguar.
I'm concerned about the licensing, Rich, okay?
Pacific Jaguar. That's it.
That can be, maybe that can just be Rich's like spin-off film or something.
Rich, you go do your spin-off of Jet Jaguar.
I watched him summon a train and fucking ride with it.
You can name it Jet Rim or anything you want.
That is, we're getting to some weird territory. You're
Go write
Pacific.
that movie in a basement.
Pacific Rim
I'm
job.
Yeah,
imagining
Pacific Rim job.
Did we think about the other monster?
Maybe it's a monster that sends out a pulse that disables electronics.
That makes everything harder.
It does, but
I
it's not meant to be
know
easy.
this is a very obvious choice, and I know it's been overdone, but Ghidorah, just because of the three heads being in sync together, I thought maybe with thematically mix.
That is interesting, though. But yeah, his presence would be it's just too overwhelming, and definitely should be something for like the sequel if that was ever the case.
Yeah, that is one thing I think we should avoid is trying to squeeze in a monster just for a monster fight.
Or if we start from the beginning, I mean, it's Kaiju's awakened from the Pacific Ocean, and maybe Monarch does some like Lab CERN type shit, and they open a portal by playing with atoms, and the portal opens to another reality, and that reality portal is opened in the Pacific Ocean of Pacific Rim's universe, and just like Godzilla Kaiju are just pouring into their world.
See, in every single crossover, it's always about them fighting each other and then them teaming up to fight a bigger threat at the end. Every single crossover I've ever seen has always been like that. If you want to look at Predator and Aliens, then the Predator joined with the humans to defeat the mother alien, and Jason versus Freddy, the humans utilize Jason to defeat Freddy. It's always about that.
What I find most interesting so far is just why the military with the Jaegers want to use Godzilla at all.
Why they need him at all? Like, why they even want to meld minds with him at all?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they maybe they want to try out this new technology because they think that his destructive capabilities are off the charts, and they want to find a different way of utilizing those destructive capabilities and channel it against other threats.
Does anybody want to recap for DJ what this movie would kind of be like?
This movie, Godzilla would be showing up to the Pacific Rim people in the area of the Jaegers. Godzilla is presumably looking for a kaiju that's he senses and is bugging out. And they fight Godzilla. A pair of people die. They think Godzilla's a villain. They notice how he's empathetic and they build a machine to try to merge like Jaegers, but with Godzilla. Godzilla's down with it after he loses his first fight with this fucking crazy kaiju. They meld together and they team up and they take down this crazy beast.
Now, they probably fight in the
What I
beginning because I would assume the Jaegers are searching for the same kaiju maybe Godzilla is, and they think Godzilla is that kaiju, right?
You totally left out the whole part with Jet Jaguar.
We kind of left out the
Jet
Snickers too, but you know.
Sponsored by Snickers. Well, why not throw a giant fucking eagle in there and have it sponsored by Red Bull?
Yeah, like Rodan or something, and just Red Bull gives you wings, and it's like that's perfect. I mean, yeah, if kaiju were real, there's no way that's not how companies would be reacting to them.
Yeah, we get McDonald's involved so they can make toys for the Happy Meals.
The Godzilla meal from McDonald's.
Exactly, and when they have Godzilla chained up, you just see McDonald's logos all over like the chains, and like they have a big hat that says McDonald's on his head.
What is this movie becoming? What are we writing here, man? What do we even work here?
I think a Michael Bay film that has multiple producers and advertising revenue.
Listen, Andrew, there is no movie without sponsorship,
Going back to it, though, what would the Godzilla meal be comprised of? That's the real question.
Fire fries. Fire fries.
I mean, obviously, I think the Big Maxilla is like it's right there.
Oh, Big Maxilla, fire fries.
Big Maxilla.
What are we writing here, man?
We are writing money.
We are printing money right here.
Honestly, I'm a little surprised there hasn't been an all-out comedic self-parody Godzilla movie yet.
Well, that's what we're doing. See, we changed directors to Schumacher right now because of McDonald's. I don't feel like there's a lot of creatures in Pacific Rim that would make Godzilla sweat.
On the figure that you showed the Destroyer, I think we make a Pacific Rim type Destroyer monster that gives off smaller creatures that the Jaegers could fight while Godzilla's fighting this main monster. That keeps everybody in action, that keeps the scenes ridiculous. Copying Destroyer as freely as we can. Just the idea that they can split into smaller beings.
I thought of an idea, but it's going to go into very trippy acidic territory. What if when the pilots try mentally linking to Godzilla, it creates an entire like dream-like sequence, and a kaiju is like born from that and becomes like the mental struggle in the form of this like new kaiju or something.
Oh, you know what? I like that. I like that idea much better than where I thought you were going. I thought you were gonna have the humans start acting like Godzilla because they like lost their mind and they linked up to Godzilla's mind. And then they just start acting like Godzilla, like all like in the the auditorium or the base or whatever like that.
They just walk around destroying Lego sets, just fucking demolishing them.
It's just like
you can still do that. You could have that happen to one set of people, and that's the lingering joke in the movie is that these people are walking around. Okay.
Oh, that's definitely Charlie Day's part in the movie.
That sucks. You took a scientist life away from us for that. You know what? You might have to.
Wow, so that's like a fucking zombie subplot in a Godzilla movie. Just brainwashed, like murderous humans. Dude, this movie's awesome. I want to see this shit.
I had this idea because you mentioned the mind melding. And I remember that from Pacific Rim. They can have that where they try to do that with Godzilla, and maybe it works. Maybe it like overwhelms them because it's like Godzilla's a monster and they just can't. They make a Jaeger for Godzilla, which is a mecha Godzilla, and make Godzilla mend his mind with it, and basically have Godzilla, since that monster splits into different pieces, is essentially Godzilla doubling himself with a Mecha Godzilla for trying to fight the creature.
Oh, Mark, I'm glad you showed up. My God, that's so fucking good. Because now you're creating technology to give him his own ability to split into creatures to fight this thing that splits into creatures. Mark is a fucking genius. And so, would that stop the need for the other Jaegers to fight, or would you only be able to split to like 3 or 4 or 5? Like, is there a limitation, or can he like match this thing?
Maybe a piece of it escapes where it's like while Godzilla is occupied with the majority of the pieces, there's a piece of it that escapes that is heading for an important landmark, and that's where, you know, our Jaegers have to come and try to stop that piece. And this is how powerful the creature is that one piece is like takes 5 Jaegers to take it down.
Okay, so now that's perfect because you're keeping the idea that these Jaegers, their job in the first place when we meet them is to protect the rim, and that you still have them protecting the rim while Godzilla is still out there doing Godzilla shit. That's perfect. It's a fucking good movie.
When does principal photography begin?
When will it begin?
Yes.
November of 2026 for 2027 Thanksgiving release.
When I'm hungry, I want to watch monsters fight.
Oh my God, there's a tagline right there.
Hell.
Sponsored by Snickers.
It could be a Thanksgiving movie too, where like the members of the core, the Jaeger core, X days until Thanksgiving, and then Thanksgiving is where the major fight happens. You know what I mean?
So is the title of the film gonna be Godzilla Pacific Rim, or is there an actual title or anything like that?
Yeah, Godzilla Pacific Rim, because I already drew it, so I don't.
Fair enough.
You know, I'm just thinking
Project.
I know I'm thinking ahead, but I'm just thinking about the horrifying consequences the events of this movie could lead into, like the human like military like could just be like, oh, we can connect humans to kaiju now.
Exactly.
Like
And
it's
that's
like
when you get
Pandora's
to-
box opens at the end, like horrible like implications of the future.
Yo, and that's Pacific Rim 4 is now they're now fighting against kaiju that are controlled by humans. And we know as you and I know, Alex, from extensive Ultraman shit, that is a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
So when someone can control one of these creatures, it's very bad. Especially if you're doing damn, I keep forgetting the long ass name for this fucking show where it's that dude who controls he's with a science team and he controls one of these creatures.
Gamora? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're thinking of Ultra Galaxy.
Ultra Galaxy, yes, where this dude gets a suit. He gets his own Sentai suit, but it's not like he's riding with the creature, or it's not like he's like merging with the creature in his way, well, only through his mind. But he gets a suit that allows him to, I don't know, do it better. The creature's fighting on its own almost.
Yeah, so I'm gonna erase my pencils because I'm definitely done the inks.
Yeah, it's a poster right there.
Heck yeah.
Of course, I'm still gonna color it, but
Are you gonna take that to the kaiju event you're going to? Yeah,
it's called Kaiju Brooklyn. It's the last day of June, first day of May. It's a 3-day event.
They'll fucking dig that shit. So you better take that.